Hey scrapbookers, it's Megan with another process video for you. For this layout, I'm doing a video response for Ronnie Sue Scrapper's 500 Subbies giveaway. For her challenge, she wants us to create a layout with a story behind the pictures and to explain the story behind the pictures. So here I am just trying to pick out background papers. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do for this layout, so I'm kind of pulling out all different types. I knew I wanted to use a background that had a pattern on it. I just wasn't sure what. So these are the pictures that I'm going to use, these three pictures. And the story behind these three pictures are that my oldest son, who's laying down in the blue shirt, he is 3 and he loved sleeping. He loved to take a nap. But my 1-year-old, who is in the white shirt and who is, you kind of can't see very well in the video, but he's there and he is trying to wake up his brother because he wants to play and they're supposed to be napping. So, and the other photos, you can see a bunch of stuff in my 1-year-old's crib. And all that stuff is actually dirty clothes, which, yes, that's kind of gross. But you can kind of see to the left of the crib that there's a little blue hamper. And I don't know why we kept it by his bed because he would do this all the time. Not every single day, but off and on throughout the weeks when they would take naps, he would just get bored and throw all the dirty clothes into his crib during nap time. And he would also play with some toys and books and throw a couple of those in his crib too. He was just looking for something to do because he was not going to take naps. And sometimes he would fall asleep, but on this particular day, he did not fall asleep. And I went in because I heard him talking to Jonas, trying to wake Jonas up. And Jonas was just kind of looking at him like, what the heck do you think you're doing? Leave me alone, I'm sleeping. So I just love these pictures of them. It just reminds me of how much fun Brennan was as a 1-year-old toddler. And I say fun in air quotes because at the time I know I didn't think it was very much fun. It was kind of a frustrating thing for me, but now that I look back on it, I just love these pictures. And I am just matting them on a plain blue background here. So I just mount all of the adhesive photo squares onto the pictures and, like I said, put them on the mats. I'm trying to figure out the placement, how I want to place the photos, because like I said before, I didn't really have an idea. I pulled out these Teresa Collins borders and I liked how those looked. And so I just kind of started playing around with the placement of the photos. And I'm kind of off the camera a little bit here because I'm trying to figure out what pattern papers I wanted to use for layering. I really wanted to do a bunch of layering on this layout, but I hadn't spent a whole lot of time thinking about what papers I wanted to use. And I apologize about the focusing on that. I don't know why it was freaking out. I finally decided on this plaid blue, green, and red paper. I really liked the colors together, and I thought it would look nice on the gray background as well. So I'm just trying to figure out how big I want to cut this scrap of paper for the back layer. And I'm just kind of positioning everything. There's a lot of repositioning that goes on with this layout. And the back of that plaid paper had kind of a nice subtle background pattern, and so I decided to use it there in the right hand corner. And now I'm just off trying to find more pattern paper. And I finally decided on this pattern paper. I don't remember who it's by, but it is kind of like a yellowish greenish, and I love the flowers on it. I thought it looked really pretty with the gray. So I decided to cut this up a little bit, and I was thinking about putting it up there all by itself, but then I decided to cut it in half and do half of it on top and then half of it on the bottom there to kind of fill in those blank spaces around the pictures and the layered paper. And then I decide that I don't end up liking the Teresa Collins border. It was just a little too much glitter for me. I'm not much of a glitter lover. I don't know why, but I'm not. I know some of you are probably gasping, and I think I might have said that in a video before. But here I am just going through the Blue Note, or not Blue Note, sorry, the latest Studio Calico paper pad for Project Life. And I liked this one, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it so that I can do journaling. And I kind of like it right there. And then I thought maybe I would take that other part and put it at the top for the title, but then I decided that it would probably be fine just to do the title on just the background or on the layers of paper. And now I am looking for some stamps. I'm trying to get more into doing stamping, and so I was kind of off for a minute looking for stamps. Now I'm just gonna tape all the layers down, put them down with the adhesive so they don't keep moving. I wish I would have done that earlier on this layout because there's a ton of layers, but sometimes I forget. And I don't normally actually do this many layers. So this is kind of new for me, doing this many layers. But it was a lot of fun doing. It took me a long time. This layout took me about an hour and 53 minutes, I believe, is what it ended up being. And that's really long lately. I've been sticking with doing about an hour, maybe a little bit over, maybe a little bit under. I just really wanted to get this layout perfect. So I'm just getting everything situated where I want it and adhering it down with my adhesive squares. And I put that down, and I forgot that I had wanted it down a little bit lower. So I'm going to correct that here in a minute. And you probably can't really tell, but off to the right on that journaling card, there was a little spot that got pulled up off of the paper. And so when I pulled the adhesive off of it, so I'm going to have to cover that up with an embellishment, which is fine because I was probably going to embellish there anyway. So here I am just trying to look for different labels and embellishments and things that I can use. Sometimes I figure out these things beforehand and sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends. And with this layout, I didn't have any idea of what I wanted to do. I just started scrapbooking. And these these labels, I'm not really sure what they are or who they're from. That one that I just pulled off was from a recent Studio Calico kit. And this little flag tag thing here, it says Live, Laugh, Learn. And I really like that in that spot. I'm going to leave that there. So I'm just kind of looking for more stickers or labels to kind of fill in the blank area between the pictures and that Live, Laugh, Love tag there. So I'm looking at that label, and then I decide to pull out some wood veneers and start using those. And I pick this heart one. And then I find these little chipboard, they look like clouds, but they're actually just tags. And so I thought that they went along with the theme of dreaming and sleeping, even though my son isn't sleeping. And I cut off the dream part of that sticker tag, and I put it right next to the Live, Laugh, Love tag there. And I'm still just kind of looking through my embellishments and stickers, trying to see if I want to use anything else. And now I'm just going to glue everything down. the chipboard I bought on eBay, and they're actually just tags. I think I just said that, I don't remember. But they're tags that I got as a bundle pack on eBay. And then I just cut off the toothpick on that Live, Laugh, Love tag there and glue it down. And I decided to pull out some stamps that I got in a Studio Calico Project Life kit. And it says "Oh Snap" on it. And I had this white Studio G stamp set, or not stamp set, sorry, ink. And it is a piece of crap. I would not suggest buying them. They're only $1 at Target. Sorry, no, not Target. Michael's. I can't think. They're only $1 at Michael's, and there is a reason why they're $1, apparently. I had to, like, I kept rubbing it on the thing and kept spraying it, and the ink just didn't want to come off of the stamp, so I will not be buying any more of those anytime soon. And then the second place that I put the stamp, I didn't like it, so I decided to put the heart there, the wood veneer heart. And then I thought, well, maybe I should use something else. So I pulled out a different heart sticker embellishment. And I'm just kind of moving the wood veneer heart around. And I decide to back it with some of that plaid red paper. And I just use my glue adhesive squares to put it on that paper, and then I cut it around it as a circle. And then I glue that down right there in that corner. And then I'm looking for some other things to embellish with. And I had these Studio Calico, or not Studio Calico, sorry, Silhouette America tags that I got from their online store, and they were a birthday set, but I decided that I could just cut off the presents that were at the end of this little tag there. And then I just found another scrap of paper that would match the layout. It's just a blue color. And then I cut it to be a banner. And I just stuck it there next to the heart. And I thought I could stamp a little sentiment or something right there with it. So I was just kind of looking through my stamps that I have. I think these are called roller date stamps. I don't remember. But I got one from Studio Calico and one from Michael's, I think. That blue one, the small blue one I got from Michael's. So I decided to make it say one for the books, because this story is definitely one for the books. It's one that I want to remember. And then I'm getting the date ready to stamp up at the top with that other embellishment cluster, the first one that I worked on. And this ink pad that I'm using, it's just a black Stampin' Up! Ink pad. I think it's the classic one. I've had it for like 10, probably 11 years, and I need to get a re-inker for it because it's almost completely out of ink. I'm surprised I can still get ink out of it. But anyway, so I got a little bit of the side on, like the straight edge side on there, so I just decided to cut it off, and then I was going to put it underneath that picture right there, but I was having a little bit of trouble, and so in the process I smeared it a little bit. I don't know if you can tell that. So I'm going to end up covering that phrase that was on there. I had it say photographed on was the phrase. So here I'm just trying to figure out what to cover it with because I just really don't like that it looks all smudged. Sorry about my arm there. I think I was standing up by that point, probably trying to figure out what I wanted to use. And I think I'm going through some of my other scratch paper and stuff that I have, so I was kind of away for a minute there. I decide to use, I didn't show it to you, but it's this gray speech bubble and then one of those yellow little candy dots. I think that's from Studio Calico. I can't remember. So I just start gluing everything down, all these extra embellishments that I didn't get glued down. And there's that speech bubble that I was saying. I made it on my silhouette and I made it into kind of like a thicker element. I did 3 of them stacked on top of each other. And here I am just trying to figure out another stamp to use. I'm trying to get more into using stamps, and I made these on my silhouette with their stamp material. And there were a bunch of little teeny tiny things, like I think it's a chevron arrow or something like that that says memories or remember. And I thought that that would go good with it, but it was just too much to sit there and do while recording, so I'll have to go and pierce those out separately and try to see if that stamp will work. So here I am just going to journal about this story, and I don't have the layout in front of me, but basically I've already told you the story, and that's basically what I wrote. It was just about how Brennan didn't like to take naps, but Jonas did, and he would throw all the dirty clothes into his crib. It's a fun little story to look back on. Okay, so now I am going to start to do the title, and I'm just trying to pick out what I want to use as my title letters. I'm just kind of going through all my letters. They're off to the right hand side of my spot. What is it called? My desk. That's what it's called. So that's why you always see me throw them down from the right hand side. But these are from Studio Calico, and I really, really like these. And there's not very much blue. I mean, I guess there is a lot of blue from the clouds and the matte background, and there's blue on that plaid paper, but there wasn't a whole lot of dark blue. I just thought that it was a nice contrast to everything else in the layout. I think I hear my 3-year-old who just went down for a nap like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes ago. So I might have to stop. Anyway, so Who Needs Nap Time with a question mark is my title. And then I'm going to do a subtitle, and it's going to say Not Brennan. And I thought maybe I'd use those pink ones, but there really wasn't any pink in the layout, and it kind of just clashed with the red. So I decided to put those away. And I brought out some other ones. These are kind of like an orangish red, and I thought, oh, I'll use these. And so I'm just kind of fiddling around with where to put the subtitle. Sometimes it's so easy to figure these things out, and other times it's just like, holy crap, what am I going to do? And I had to step away for a minute. I don't remember why. Oh, I guess maybe I was just looking for some more colors of letters, stickers and stuff, stickers. And I thought about using those black ones, so I pulled the black ones out and those blue ones. And this becomes a whole process. So I definitely decide on using these black ones. I really like them. So I'm putting them all out, and I got the knot down and they're all lowercase, and then I got to Brennan, which is spelled Brynnan, and there's a lowercase b and a lowercase r, but the r was like huge compared to the b and the y, and I just really didn't like that. So I decided to put it back and not use stickers or thickers or anything at all. I am going to eventually decide to stamp it. And I have a couple different stamps that are alpha stamps. And I got most of them from Stampin' Up! And so they're all individual letters. And I don't really like having to deal with that. I like being able to put it on a block, like Close to My Heart does. And I guess Stampin' Up! Does that now, but they didn't used to like 10 or 11 years ago when I first started stamping. So I ended up picking up this little alpha stamp set that I got from Michael's for $1, and it wasn't even open, so I have to sit here and open it and pull all of these things apart. And so I'm like putting them apart and thinking, oh, I'll do this real quick and then we'll get started. But then I was like, no, this is going to take forever to pull them all apart. So I start spelling out not Brennan. And then I get stuck for a little bit here because I'm like, where the crap is the N? Like, I had already set it down because I was spelling out not first and then doing Brennan. And I was like, oh yeah, I already have the N down on my desk. But yeah, so, and then I pulled out this little Stampin' Spot, I think is what it's called, and it's called Indigo, is the color, indigo blue or something like that. And I'm just stamping it on top of that wax paper just to kind of see how it'll look with the bigger letters and if I want to use it. And I finally decide that I do. And this is a new glue pen that I got. It's a Martha Stewart glue pen, and it's not a wide tip one. It's a fine tip, I guess is what it's called. Actually, hold on. I do have that with me right here. It is called, yeah, it's a fine tip glue pen, and it's by Martha Stewart. And I've been wanting one of these to do alphas and things like this that are really skinny. And so I finally broke down and bought one a couple weeks ago when I had a coupon. And there were just a couple pieces that the sticker backing had ripped off as I was peeling them off. And so I just put some glue on them and made sure that they would stick down. So the title's all done now. And I'm just going to do the subtitle, which I decide to do over here. And I start at the end because I know where I want it to end. And there, that end that I just did like 10 times, it was because the first time I stamped it, it was upside down. And so I just went over it a couple times to make sure that you knew that it was an N, but it still looks kind of funky. I don't know if you can tell. I can definitely tell by just looking at the video that something is different about that N. The second N in Britain's name does not look good. And so later on, I decide to kind of put some stuff around it to make it not so noticeable. So here I am just cleaning off my stamps. I always do that right after I use them just so they don't dry, and then you have a bigger mess to clean up, and it's harder usually to clean them off then too. So there's the layout. I'm still thinking that it needs a little bit more, especially in that right hand corner where that heart chipboard sticker is. I'm thinking that it needs maybe a tag or, you know, something to kind of spice it up on that side. So I'm just kind of going through my embellishments and tag stash, trying to figure out what to use. And I like this little arrow banner thing that I have that I made on my silhouette. So I grabbed that and I'm going to stick it there. I'm just trying to figure out how to stick it down. If I want it above the sticker or below the sticker, in the middle of the sticker, and how I want it pointing at the picture. And then I put one of those candy dots on it. And I had some of these Studio Calico little circle labels. I pulled one out in green and decided to stick it over where I had the stamp image, and then place the sticker, the chipboard heart sticker, on top of that. So it just kind of gave it a little bit more texture and color. So I glue down this arrow banner and the sticker, and I'm almost done. I'm just kind of looking over the layout and seeing what else I want to do. And here is where, sorry, that was my phone. Here's where I decide to cover up a couple different spots and add these little asterisk things. Sorry, I can't say that word. Asterisks. I can't say it. But I just end up using these yellowish, greenish, and a dark blue. And that kind of covers up the end that went bad. And here are the close-up shots. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you like this, Roni. And I can't wait to see all of the other layouts that get done. Thanks for watching.